And Joan, I don't know what you've got as far as information goes on the shooting at the ICE facility in Dallas. Here's what I have. This is from the Daily Mail. They updated this 2 minutes ago.
Okay.
A sniper killed at least one migrant and wounded up to 4 in that shooting at a Dallas ICE facility, then shot himself dead, according to police. They're still not saying. Fox 4 is reporting. I'm going back and forth between Twitter and some other stories. Fox 4 reported 3 or 4 others had also been shot. Multiple victims were critically injured. The total number of fatalities and injuries remains unclear.
WFAA in Dallas, so a television station in Dallas, says it was 2 ICE detainees that were killed, 1 person injured this morning. And the shooter is dead. The shooter shot himself. He was stationed up on a roof and shot downward. And it's not clear if there are other snipers that are on the loose at the moment. They're not saying that so far. They're not disavowing anyone of that notion.
They say the sniper, police are describing him as a white man, but we don't know. I mean, anything about him other than that's what they say. He is a white man.
Right. That's been confirmed.
What we don't know is what he identifies as. And listen, we had that shooting in Dallas from a couple of days ago, or a couple of weeks. Where was that, Sam? Can you help me? Where was that shooting? Not in Dallas, but it was in Texas, I believe.
I can't find it. The headlines are overrun with what's happening right now.
Yeah.
It was a nearby facility.
Okay.
There in the Dallas area.
And 2 of those shooters were trans. Mm-hmm. So that's a big, that's just a big question
yet
for yours truly.
About this shooter.
We don't know that about this shooter as of yet. And in the midst of all of this, right, you have Gavin Newsom out there. Remember that discussion we had yesterday where Newsom is out there screaming that ICE agents need to be unmasked in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, this is what happens.
Right. I mean, this is proof positive that this is what happens. Now, this was at an actual ICE facility, and I understand that Gavin Newsom, quite frankly, he's not the smartest guy in the world. But I would ask Gavin Newsom, we now have yet another attack on an ICE facility. There's also some ICE facilities that were attacked. I believe it was in Oregon, right? So we're seeing these attacks on ICE facilities, yet the brain-dead governor of California will be running for president. He wants to unmask ICE. This is what's happening to ICE facilities across the country. Here it is, Alvarado, Texas. In a nearby ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas, another attack took place on July 4th, where 10 people were arrested for shooting at law enforcement officers. And again, a couple of them were trans. They actually, it looks like, no, that's not. I saw a picture, but it looks like that's not a picture from the most recent shooting.
And so now Fox News is reporting that all 3 people who were shot were detainees.
3 people that were shot were detainees.
And 2 are dead.
Interesting. So I'm just trying to figure this out. So was the person up on the roof, were they trying to shoot at ICE agents and they shot detainees, or were they trying to take out detainees?
Yeah. It's just not clear yet.
We don't know anything. We're just, trying to decipher the headlines. But we'll keep you updated on this story as it continues to develop. And again, Daily Mail saying multiple fatalities. And again, this is one of those stories that will continue to develop. And Joan's got everything coming up in the news at 8:30 or when it breaks. And they do have, I'm looking at these photos or these video. There is a massive police presence.
It's incredible, the response at this facility.
Can I just ask a really uncomfortable question?
And it's right on I-35, by the way, which is the major roadway that goes through Dallas. Yeah.
That is a major road.
Yeah.
The uncomfortable question I'm going to ask is, why are they not checking the roofs of these buildings?
You would think that someone would need to look up at every moment. Send up some drones.
That's what I
Honestly,
was going to say,
yeah.
Joan. I mean, send up some drones. Get some 13-year-old with his drone to check the roofs of nearby buildings.
What about a third? I would send armed drones with the ability to potentially neutralize. That's what you really want. Like what Chris, the Chris Hand drone.
The Chris Hand drone?
He was talking about how Ring's coming, or some company like Ring's going to have drones that are like doorbell cams.
Yeah.
But he won't.
They need to be able to figure out if somebody is up on the roof. These buildings need to be protected. And off of I-35, Joan's right. That is, I-35 is like I-40 here in Dallas. So it is a huge, huge building, a huge area. And also, let's just, be fair for a moment. I don't know what surrounds this particular ICE facility, but I mean, if you've got a clear line of sight and it's like, as we have seen in the last couple of weeks, you're shooting down into, as they say, a fishbowl, then I would think that it would take just a few minutes with a drone to make sure that there's nobody that is getting ready to shoot, the migrants or the ICE officers. So we'll have to, again, keep you folks updated on what's going on. We will. So far, we have a couple of migrants dead. We have, they say, multiple
so I got
multiple
an update
people
here.
shot. What's that, Joan?
So Tricia McLaughlin is the DHS Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs, and she's on Fox News right now. And she said there are 3 fatalities. All of them are detainees, and there are others who have been critically wounded. So this is not, like we said, this is a changing situation. This is the information is going to morph here. She said the individual who did the shooting, and they believe at this point that it's just one, was on the top of an apartment building nearby, shooting down as the detainees were being brought in by ICE agents.
It's time for the crisscross handoff. Chris, you actually made it into a segment.
I did. I did. And then I get in here, and then you're not here.
No, I'm broadcasting from home today.
I know, and it really throws my day, a monkey wrench at my day, because I like to start my day with a Dan Mandis hug.
Sure, I'm sure not even my wife likes that, Chris. So Hey, so it's did you? When I saw Chris yesterday, man, you were exhausted.
Oh yeah.
Now, did you finally get some sleep?
I mean, I got like 6 hours last night. I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. I've just been like a walking zombie.
Yes. Well, you sounded great yesterday, and I'm very heartened to hear that we have postponed our September 30th event, and it is now going to be on October 14th.
Yeah, for Charlie Kirk Day. It's the National Day of Remembrance for Charlie Kirk. We're really, really excited. I mean, you've probably gotten this too, but I've gotten just so many messages and emails and people reaching out saying that they want to get involved with TPUSA. And so this is like a really cool opportunity where we're going to have a lot of TPUSA representatives, some big dogs, including, and TPUSA chapters at an event with us. So that way, anybody that wants to get involved, like this is your opportunity to connect with them face to face.
You know what we also ought to do? I don't know if we're talking about, if anybody's talking about this, but should we have voter registration there too?
I would think so. I would absolutely think so. We got to mobilize. We got to get ready. Midterms are going to be here before we know it. We can't fall asleep at the wheel.
No, absolutely. Well, actually, Chris, we don't need registered to vote, because Gavin Newsom says that there's not going to be an election in 2028.
That's true.
Do you know in your travels, because and I was talking about this earlier, in your travels, have you ever seen why Gavin Newsom says such things? Because I was, when I played the audio, I was trying to figure out, okay, so where exactly does he get that from? Because I don't know his justification for making such a stupid statement.
Well, I just think that they're doing the classic Democrat tactic of playing up fear. It's the easiest way to manipulate the lemmings of the Democrat Party, so they lean in on the fear. And all of them think that Trump is already a dictator and a fascist and Emperor Trump. So he's leaning into that because of the radical left.
Hey, Chris, I want to give you a new word to use. Sheplings. Combination of sheep and lemmings.
I like it.
You like it?
I'm a fan.
I want to try to make it a thing.
We should. You should make T-shirts with it.
Make T-shirts with it?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What did you think about Jimmy Kimmel and his return? I kept waiting for an apology that never happened.
No, it wasn't an apology at all. He didn't address Charlie's family. He didn't address the fact that he was wrong and lied and said it was a MAGA guy. He didn't say he was wrong. It was a non-apology. And, I would just say a lot of people didn't see it anyway because Sinclair and Nexstar still aren't airing Jimmy Kimmel. And I would imagine that the executives did watch that episode of Sinclair and of Nexstar, and they're probably thinking the exact same thing that we are, that this is a non-apology apology.
Yeah, it's like when I'm waiting for one, but I didn't see one.
But like occasionally, my boys will get into a bit of a tussle, and I'll be like, "You need to apologize to your brother," and I'll get a SORRY, and it's like that's not an apology. That was the equivalent of what we saw from Jimmy Kimmel last night.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know if you saw this, but according to the Daily Mail, his staff was going to walk out if he did apologize.
Really?
If he did, yeah, that's what they said. They said that if there was a mutiny, if you will, amongst the staff of Jimmy Kimmel, they said if you apologize, then we're going to walk out because they were standing by what he said.
But if he doesn't apologize, then they all lose their jobs anyway. And there's like a couple hundred people working for his show. Yeah,
yes, they would be out of a job. But I think that. I think when you get into that kind of a environment, you feel like you're untouchable. You feel like they can't do anything to us because we are such a successful show, which clearly it's not.
Define success.
I know, right? So I thought, for me, when I was watching, and I did play the audio, I think that he's been exposed. His pants have been pulled down, if you will, because a lot of people have been talking about his ratings. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been talking about the money that he makes and how he's not worth it. And the local stations are frustrated because they can't sell the ad time on the local level. So his worst nightmare, because he is a man of ego, right? Jimmy Kimmel is a man of ego. So his ego has to have taken a hit because all of these negative things have now come out about him. And so he goes out there, and it's kind of like he's got his tail between his legs, if you will.
Yep.
My gosh.
So, yeah. By the way, here's that real quick. I wanted to play the audio of Gavin Newsom and see if I can. Yeah, here it is. Here's that Gavin Newsom audio real quick.
I fear that we will not have an election in 2028. I really mean that in the core of my soul, unless we wake up to the code red, what's happening in this country, and we wake up soberly to how serious this moment is.
So, but again, nobody ever has the mindset to ask him, what do you mean?
Well, I think he's just broken up. Everybody keeps sending him Trump 2028 hats.
You know what? I love that. I actually do love that. Did you see what happened yesterday? We spoke about this a little bit ago. Tennessee State University.
Yes, and I'm trying to get Cam Higbee on the show today. It's kind of going to be a game time decision, but I'm aware of Cam. So he stepped up and started doing this in the immediate aftermath of the Charlie Kirk assassination. He just picked up the mantle and started showing up to college campuses. And Tennessee State University, I mean, he was there for all of 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, and a riot breaks out.
Did you see the part where the woman held her shirt up?
You're really focused on this, Dan.
Well, it's kind of gross. And can I just tell you, for a man to say that, I mean, that's really saying something.
Yeah.
He didn't like her tomatoes.
Oh. Yuck.
So, yeah. I mean,
Murphy beat me to it. He has Cam on at 4 p.m. Son of a gun.
See, that here. Okay, so can I tell you what's funny behind the scenes? So I'm texting with Murphy Show. And he said he's got Cam on. He didn't say what time. And then you say that you're trying to get him on. And I'm sort of like, okay, what do I do here? Who's going to tell Chris that Murphy already has him on at 4?
Okay. Murph. I'm tired of Murph getting the scoop on me.
You know what? He's a scrappy little broadcaster,
There's
isn't he?
nothing to say that you can't get him on before Murph.
Oh, that's good. That's a good call.
No.
That's a good call. I'm gonna press even harder, Joan.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that
That breaks talk show bro code, and you know it.
I'm upset.
There's a bro code?
Yeah. You know what's so funny?
You don't know about it because you're not one of the bros.
I'm not a bro. I got you.
I actually thought there was a bro code where it's like, okay, so if somebody, this is behind the scenes, but if somebody has someone scheduled, but your show is coming up first, you don't go and schedule that person to scoop the other person because they already scheduled that first.
No, I wouldn't do that to Murphy. I'm obviously kidding. But darn, Murphy.
Do you know what I played the video. They did show up in MAGA hats. And so I think that I'm not saying this, but some will say, well, you showed up in MAGA hats. What did you think would happen? I would say, as a taxpayer-funded university, that the college students should behave like adults.
You'd also think at an HBCU where Donald Trump ponied up all that funding so that way they didn't have to come back and beg for it, that they would actually be a little bit more open to that.
That's what I said. Well, okay. Yeah. But these are the same morons that were holding up BLM signs.
Yeah.
And they have, like I said during the segment. All right, so name me one person or one life that was saved by Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
Tell me where all of those millions and millions and millions of dollars went that were donated to Black Lives Matter. Did they save any lives?
Show me the playgrounds that they built in the inner cities or the rec centers or the schools for the kids, so that way they can really improve those Black lives.
Mm.
Well, the leaders of Black Lives Matter, their lives were improved because they bought large mansions.
Yep.
Remember that whole thing?
Oh yeah. We remember.
Yeah, so I saw that, and it was just, I would think that here in Tennessee, we should know better. We know how to behave in Tennessee, but apparently only some of us know how to behave in the state of Tennessee. Give me your over under. Give me your thoughts on Donald Trump at his speech to the UN.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic, and I thought there was definitely some stuff that was sketchy. I'm going to talk about that on the show today with the escalator going off. That's a security issue first and foremost. I had Brian on. Brian says that it is sketchy. It's very sus, and he thinks that. And Joan and Brian both said that they were talking about doing just this at another event. They were talking about it in a newspaper. And then on top of that, the teleprompter goes out, and then his mic was at lower levels than all of the other speakers. But it's like, joke's on you, because Donald Trump, he's just going to talk now for about an hour and a half on whatever's on top of his mind, and you're going to have to sit through it.
I love that.
And he went scorched earth. I mean, I'm a huge fan of what happened at the UN yesterday.
Oh, I loved it too. I loved it. And the other thing that I would say is that, to me, people were talking about how Trump went scorched earth. I just thought it was Donald Trump.
But
you know what I mean? Like this is just Trump doing Trump.
But it's also about the audience. I mean, listen to what he said. He called for protections for Christians, called us the most persecuted religion, which is true. Yep. He called out the UN for funding mass migration into the U.S. and Western countries. He said Europe has to stop adopting Sharia law. He criticized globalism. He slammed the UN for climate alarmism. He scorched countries for funding Russia's war, which is just a great talking point.
Yep.
He urged countries to stop falling for the green scam. He said the UN doesn't back up its word with any meaningful action. He talked about American exceptionalism. He demanded an end to biological weapons, which is an understated talking point. I haven't seen it really anywhere in the mainstream media. Mm-hmm. But as we all know, bioweapons and bioterrorism is a real concern. He demanded an end to that. And then he concluded by urging UN members to protect their national identities by clamping down on mass migration.
Mass migration thing I thought was huge.
Yep. Well, I mean, we're seeing that all over the West, and the West is being destroyed by it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at what's going on in Europe, and I mean, we could go down the road of
Londonistan.
What's that?
Londonistan?
Yes, Londonistan, where they refuse to assimilate. It suppresses the jobs. I mean, it's a whole thing.
And then you got migrant rape gangs running around, and 14-year-old girls have to arm themselves with hatchets and knives. So, what's the harm in mass migration?
But everything's going great, right?
Yep.
And then the police interfere over their social media posts showing each other how to defend themselves against these men.
Yeah, you post on Facebook, gee, I'm not sure I'm a fan of this. Oi, you got a license for posting like that?
Throw you in jail for like 6 months.
Yeah. You actually go to jail longer for the Facebook post than you do for the rape.
I mean,
that's not a joke. That's actually
that's what I'm saying.
Like actually
think you're
true.
Joking.
No, I'm not. That's just that's the reality of what happens.
Okay, so Kamala Harris has been making the news, and I have not heard this, but apparently this is a word salad. Kamala Harris on The View, which I don't know if you heard any of it, Chris, but she was as train wrecky as always. And this is Kamala Harris, and let's see what she said.
And I do believe that moving forward, we're going to remember that the power ultimately is with the people, and we have to remind folks that they cannot let their light and their spirit be diminished by who happens to be in the Oval Office at this moment. And that's part of what I hope to achieve with the book, is to remind us, people by the tens of thousands, for those of you who were there, came to those events with such enthusiasm and optimism and, dare I say, joy.
Does she know that she lost the election?
Yeah, they came to the events, and then after Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion were done performing, the joy left the building, and so did they.
And they didn't go to the voting booth.
Yeah, and the power of the people, 77 million people showed their power in the 2024 election, and you're talking about tens of thousands that showed up to an event. That's cute.
The Republican candidate won the popular vote in every swing state, but the power of the people.
But they had joy at those events.
Yeah. About the possibilities for our country. And that light is inside people.
Oh.
It's there, and it cannot be diminished or extinguished by an election or an individual. And we have to remember that. That light is inside us. And it's inside each of us, and we have to see it in each other and let that guide us through this very dark time.
Is it a dark time?
I mean, I think you can make the argument it's a dark time, but then you could point to who's causing that dark time, and it's members of the left shooting our friends for, just exercising their right to free speech on college campuses.
She talks about a dark time. I remember when the Biden administration, including her, was in office, and those times also incredibly dark because of their policies. Chris Hand, I know you've got a big broadcast schedule today. What's going on?
Well, I'm just fighting with people on the text line, actually. I'm not focused on the show.
I saw that 2805. He accused you of being a Canadian.
He said, you guys never report on factual things. The FBI said the shooter has no ties to any left-wing groups. The grandmother even came out and said they're all Republican. They don't even know a single Democrat, but you guys will never mention that because you're a propaganda machine. So I replied, you're an idiot. Love you, though. Thanks for listening.
Hey, 2805, do you have that daily Trump lie that you were telling me about, like days ago now?
We're waiting.
I'm waiting.
We're turning into those skeletons in the rocking chair, just waiting.
Tell me the lie. Tell me the lie. Because 2805, he lies daily. Okay, 2805, tell me.
Then he told me, go back to Canada. And then he said, comma, and then the letter A. And so I just wrote back, it's EH.
Want some maple syrup with that bacon, eh?
I love that. All right, big show with Chris Hand. Don't forget, October 14th. Details, I'm assuming, are at the website?
Yep, 997WTN.com. It's going to be huge. We want to see you there.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow, folks.